mean, I don't know. It's something about that song that just make you want to get up and bust a mother.
Hello, my name is Paige, not Paige, and touch the orb. I guess this is the first installment of an idea I had in a dream. I was a rich Southern belle living in a house that I paid for. I was living it up, whining and whining. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna just go along with it. Honestly, I'm just deathly scared of holiness. That's good. This is wine and whining. I'm sipping on wine while I'm whining about whatever. But the wine is actually grape juice. You're too right to drink. Even when I become of age too. No. Today I wanted to talk about a character from the show, one of my favorite shows of all time, The Walking Dead. A show that just ended. What was it, last night? 2 nights ago. The Walking Dead that's lasted for 11 seasons. Beautiful. But I'm not here to talk about The Walking Dead solely. I'm here to talk about one of the most developed characters in the whole show. A character that was so thoughtfully written and acted out that it left people with multiple ideas of what this character could represent, what this character actually meant with all of their actions, what this character meant in the other characters' lives. And that character is Shane Walsh. Shane Walsh. Honestly, I despised him from jump. And I think if you're a person with, I don't want to say proper morals because, you know, what do we know is completely right and what is complete, I don't know. I'm going to say proper morals because I can. It's my show. If you are someone who has a certain set of morals, you are to already believe Shane is a jerk. He is kind of lame. And that's exactly what I thought upon first watching it. Him smacking on fries with Rick in the car while Rick, he doesn't exactly agree with him, but he's not necessarily shutting him down with his misogynistic remarks. They're dancing around misogynist way of thinking or talking about women and being in relationships with them. But after that, it is quickly shown like, wow, although this man is a misogynist, he does care about this guy. This is his best friend. Rick is his best friend. I'm gonna turn this light off real quick. And plus, they're both cops. Let me stop. Or should I? They're both cops, so they already suck. What sip was that? We're following Rick. Rick is the main character. Following Rick, he's navigating throughout this new way of life because apocalypse has befallen, where are they? Georgia? It has befallen Georgia. It's always the South with The Walking Dead. It's always the South. And then they're always moving up to the DMV. Back to Shane. After we have put the puzzle pieces together that Rick's wife and child are hanging with Shane. And not only are they hanging with him, Shane is like, oh, Carl, kiddo, and is Lori. He is he's getting that nook and alone time with Lori. In a weird way too. And it's like, Lori, honestly, it had to be only for the man meat. Honestly, it had to only be for the meat because Shane, no, other than being a leader, I won't say a great leader, I'll say an efficient one, someone whose plans make sense some of the time. That's where his good qualities stop. Because other than that, the way he talks to her is kind of crazy. He don't respect women for real. No, he don't. I mean, kind of to a degree, because he ended up beating up Ed after he saw him beating up Carol. You know, I was like, oh, cool. That's the next time we see him, and we're like, oh, is he grimy? Or is it like, oh, they think he's dead, so it's like, we get it. But it was only 4 months. Lori, Shane, you both suck. But anyway, I'm here to talk about 3 theories. 3 theories that I have, and that probably other people have. Honestly, the conversations with the Walking Dead fandom, I don't know where to go for that. Do I go to Discord, Twitch, Reddit? I definitely can't go on Instagram. I try to look through the tags, and all likes for the Walking Dead stuff is low. Posted by fan accounts, low. It's all low, and I don't know where to go to talk about it or to talk with other people who watch the show or who watched the show or are watching other pieces or who read the comics. Like, I don't know where to go for that. Anyway, 3 theories. All right, the 3 theories that have been occupying the space on my whiteboard for far too long. The first theory, Shane... maybe it's 4. Shoot. Okay, first theory. Shane truthfully did fall in love with Lori after everything fell, after the world fell. Theory 2. Shane was always in love with Lori and had some degree of resentment towards Rick being in this relationship with Lori because Shane viewed Lori as some ultimate woman for some reason. Next theory. Shane wanted to be Rick. He wanted to crawl inside the Rick skin and be Rick. He wanted to be a father. He wanted to be with Lori. He wanted to wear the Rick skin. And he got to do that for a couple of months while Rick was in a coma. How'd you survive that, Rick? He wanted to be Rick, and he had always wanted to be him ever since high school. And fourth and final theory, the one that makes me giggle personally, is that Shane is in love with Rick. Hold on! Don't pull out the torches and pitchforks. So I'm gonna break down these theories, I guess, and prove why any of them can be right, or why one is more right than the other. I don't know. First theory, yeah, it's standard. Honestly, if you go into The Walking Dead without thinking deeper about things, thinking about anything being symbolic or lines meaning a certain thing, having deeper meaning, which is crazy because it's kind of how real life is, from the most simple to the most complex. Everything has meaning. That's where you get that, and it's not really much going into that. It's like, yeah, that's how he is. He just fell in love with Lori, and he goes a little crazy after a little bit, you know. Once he shaved that hair, you know, he un poco loco, un piquititico loco. First theory, he was always in love with Lori. This one makes a lot more sense. Makes a lot more sense from, especially if you want to look through it through like a heteronormative lens, you know, is that he was always in love with Lori. I need to go back and rewatch it on my 5th go. There's some mentions about, back in high school, or I remember when y'all met, wedding day. Someone mentions a wedding day. It's either Rick or Shane who mentions a wedding day, and I know it's a conversation between the two of them. And Shane carried that guilt with him. He always carried that guilt that he was in love with Lori. Within his friendship with Rick, he's always carried that guilt. And it's like, I won't step over that boundary unless you die. And, you know, everybody think he did. And he crosses that boundary. He's like, he ain't here. That nigga did. And then you hear how he talks. After they have their little thing, he literally goes as far as to, I don't know if he does it. It's either he essayed her or he was about to essay her while drunk, claiming that she's got a thing with him. They got a thing together. They're both in love, and he can see it, and he knows it, and da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-dee. And then it's like, after that, after they got kicked out of there, after they come across Herschel's farm, or when Carl gets shot, and Shane is there for Rick. There's a way of looking at it through the lens of, yeah, he cares about Rick and he hates seeing him in distress. He wishes things could be great, but he's also hurting because he cares about Carl, but he's also hurting because Lori, that's Lori's son, Lori ain't even here. She gets there, you know, immediately making eye contact with her. She's like, you're great. She didn't say that. She's like, don't leave, you don't gotta go, stay. And he takes it like, she wants to get back together. He takes that as that. Ew. In like supreme yandere form, he takes it as that. Ugh. It's actually disgusting. No, that's actually terrible. You mean so much to Rick. You mean so much to Carl. Don't go. Although, like, you know, an episode earlier, she was like, don't talk to my son. Don't talk to him. Don't talk to my son. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to my man. Leave my family alone. And then you're like, stay a minute, just stay. Like, it's like, girl. Actually insane. And he makes it a point of letting Lori know that I'm still rocking with, I still want you. I want you face down in the dirt, in the floor. No, that's nasty. No blanket? No sheet of any kind? I just know the smell. You know, he keeps doing that, it's back and forth, and you know, Rick finds out and it's like, It's kind of passive aggressive towards him, not really letting it affect him too much because, you know, he's trying to still look through it through that rose-colored lens, but like in a way that's that lingering thought. This guy who was my best friend, my brother, Shane, you're my brother. And he turns around, he find out he's plotting on you. Like, it's always that's lingering thought, even though he wanted to be rose-colored. Yeah. Nope. And then they had the final showdown. I guess that's all to that theory. Honestly, I'm not coming at this with cold, hard sentences. Honestly, I'm just rambling. It's whining and wine. Do you get it now? Okay, next theory. Shane wanted to live inside Rick's skin. And I feel like that's self-explanatory. Oh, I'm teaching Carl how to catch frogs. I'm putting you face down in the dirt in the forest. I'm looking at you, locking eyes with you to make sure that you take that necklace off with that ring of your husband's ring. Take that off. And I'm gonna put your face in the dirt and you're gonna take it. That's nasty. Nasty! Shane doesn't really respect women, honestly, I don't know. Face down. Couldn't be me. You can have it. Can't be me. Yeah, that all happens. And it becomes a thing where it's like, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna take your wife and son. No, that's actually disgusting. Oedipus? That's not exactly Oedipus. Oh, you were such a goody two-shoes in high school while I was out here bagging the other students and popular girls and the teacher. He said something about bagging a teacher. Honey, you ain't bagging shit. You are a victim. You were a victim. It's all, I bagged this, I bagged that, until you realize you're traumatized. And all you bagged was trauma. But yeah, self-explanatory. He wanted to live in Rick's skin. He was literally plotting on killing Rick multiple times. Dale walked up on him and was like, I saw what you did. And he speculated that he killed Otis. Took the stuff, brought it back to save Carl so he can be his true dad. It's literally multiple times throughout it before he actually finally does aim a gun at Rick, where he's like, say, oh damn, I was aiming for a bird. I was aiming for a walk. He literally busted his face open. You ain't seen nothing, right? He literally busted his face open to set up the murder of this man so he could take his wife and his child. He says, I'm a better dad than you ever were. I saved their lives more than you. Where have you been? Negro, he was in a coma. You're not a Negro. Blanco. He was in a coma, you albino roach. You cricket. He was in a coma. While you were running off to get more guns, who was here? Bro, more people would have died if he ain't come back with guns. Or if he was here, there probably would have been more casualties if he stayed here and y'all ain't have no guns to help. But that's that theory, living inside his skin. Now on to my favorite one. Because it means gay rap. This is terrible gay rap. Honestly, it's too much representation for gay people as villains. But what I'm saying, this final theory, my favorite one, is that Shane was in love with Rick the whole time. I think I've seen this portrayed in multiple things where it's like, and I think half of the things have been in queer situations. Or with queer characters, I mean. They're in love with somebody, so they, you know, put themselves in their shoes to feel closer to them because they know they can't have them the other way. You know? And, like, did you know that people ship them? People ship Shane and Rick. I read none of it, But I was curious. I was like, The Walking Dead. AO3. There's some Daryl and Negan stuff, and that gotta go. No. This man had somebody feed him dog food, and you said, love. No. There's some people shipping Dwight and Daryl. There's some people shipping, what's his name? That tall man with a mustache. They're shipping him with Negan. They're shipping Negan with Rick. But there's people who are shipping Rick with Shane. They was shipping. They was shipping. So there was people who wanted the gay for some of these characters. And I never thought I'd see that in this community, honestly. In this Walking Dead community. Because it started off as something that was like, you know, majority white and majority straight. Like, we didn't get a gay character until the Governor arc. And that was Tara. Love you, Tara. You're dying. I love you, Tara, so much. When they killed you, I wanted to kill. Oh, Tara and Denise were so cute. But anyway, what was I even talking about? Oh, the wine's kicking in. Rick and Shane. Shane, hard eyes for Rick. And if you want to read into like the gentle touches, which, you know, I don't want to do that too much. I don't like to do that too much when it comes to certain characters and certain things, where it's like, although it's kind of funny, it's kind of weird that people are trying to flip it and be like, oh, why does everybody gotta be gay? Negro, no one's gay, and that's the problem. When there's so many people who are gay, but no one's gay. Come on. I don't try to think about those gestures, the physical affection when it happens between two people of the same gender, because I don't want to, you know, put people in a position where it's like, oh, you do this, you're gay. You give your friend a hug, you comfort your friend when they're crying, you're gay. And it's not that, and it's never that. So I don't want to look into that hard. But if we were coming at it that lens, like it was confirmed that Shane had a couple boyfriends somewhere in this timeline, and we look at the gestures, and we look at the heads to head and the hugs and the longing stares, it's like that's what it becomes. Shane, the gay man, just couldn't come to terms with not being able to be with the man he longed for all this time, the man he longed for back in his high school days. And so he had to piss him. It's like, oh, you're dead. Time to put your wife in the dirt on the face of the ground and let us all in. I take your son out to catch some frogs. And that's what happens. And that's how it is, and that's what it all means. Shane's gay. Oh my gosh, Shane's gay, and he was in love with Rick the whole time, and he didn't know how to, I mean, he was too sad to deal with it, so he ended up wanting to kill him because he know he couldn't be with him ever, because Rick never felt the same way, because Rick is a straight man. That's the theory that I favor the most, because it's kind of chaotic a little, because it's like, you can't be with someone, so you shove their wife in the dirt, face down, ass up. That's crazy. But I think the one that, you know, probably makes the most sense or can be backed a little bit more is that he was in love with Lori the whole time. That one makes the most logical sense to me. And not only logically, not with only logos, but with the pathos there too. Even though he don't respect women, he was still in love with her, or the idea of what Lori could be. Because Rick married on the first go. And he's like, he got it right. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it right. I can't get it right because the girl I invited over the last night left the lights on and left the room and it didn't turn the lights off. And so I'm calling her a B word because she left the lights on. Be for real. And there's nothing wrong with the B word nowadays. When other people are calling it each other and it's like a friendly thing. I bring back to those who disrespect me like a daddy. But back then, you knew what he meant by using the B word towards a woman that he was involved with romantically or sexually. You know what it meant. He's a misogynist. And he was trying to get Rick on board with that. And Rick was like, boy, you know you ain't got no balls to say no. Call her the B word. Oh, you be slapped. You'd be slapped. Hell, I'd teleport through the TV, just slap. But I guess that's it. Tell me which theory you like the most. Tell me which one. And tell me if you were thinking all of these. At one point in The Walking Dead, your watch of The Walking Dead, honestly, so sad it's coming to an end. I was like, oh, I can't feel my feelings if I'm eating. And halfway through my bite of my of my chocolate chip brownie cookie, Luke dies, or Luke got bit, and I was like, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. But they take him to the emergency room, and his leg is cut off, and I'm like, okay, he's fine, he's fine. My mom's like,
No. This dude is bleeding out.
I'm like, no, Mom, he's fine, he's fine.
No, he is bleeding out.
Mom, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine.
He's bleeding.
He's bleeding.
I've been.
He wasn't fine. He was bleeding out. And Rosita's death. That one was, I don't know, that was heavy. Heavy. But that's it, I guess.
I got wine.
Claire, you got, no? Okay. Hold this one. Like I said, tell me about it. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you felt about The Walking Dead ending. Tell me if you think it was long overdue. Tell me if you think that they could have had one more season. Tell me, bless you. Tell me if you thought a little bit more could have happened in the last episode. It was beautiful. It was a nice ending. A nice ending to the main show of The Walking Dead universe. Thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, do all that jibber jab, and love yourself. Because why not? Bye. That's like the Great Gatsby, right? He's not.